Alrighty then, it looks like Governor Skeletor. Governor Skeletor of Arizona has vetoed the bill. I think this is old news for a lot of people, but that means I'm a little bit less pressured and rushed to leave the state like a fucking Nigerian refugee or something. Anyway, Governor Skeletor vetoed the anti-gay bill supposedly that was going to allow for Sharia law in the state of Arizona. Or, I'm sorry, the PC correct term is Christian Sharia law, right? Isn't that? Oh, I'm sorry. Religious liberty, whatever you want to call it. It's the same bullshit. It's the same bullshit. Religious liberty. Go fuck yourselves. You're not fooling anybody. I read the bill. I read every fucking word of it. And it says there that you can use your religion as an excuse for anything that you find objectionable in the law. I could just imagine all these Jehovah's Witnesses who violate the no trespassing law. But that's okay. They're just... If that's the price we have to pay to stop those faggots from ordering... Goodness gracious. From ordering wedding cakes, then we should do this. Small price to pay. If we need to allow Muslims to execute and stone adulterers and fornicators, and that's a small price we have to pay, I guess, for religious liberty. Right. Anyway. So this puts less pressure on me to move to, well, I was planning to move back to California, but I have a few other plans before I do that and escape this Nazi concentration camp. Sorry, I just feel like saying that, okay? I just feel like saying Nazi this day. I mean, it's the day, right? It's a Tuesday, by the way. And fuck, I hate Tuesdays. I hate Tuesdays more than I hate Monday. Because Tuesday is a fucking worthless day. You know what I'm saying? It's a pointless day. I mean, Monday is like the day you start your week, right? You start your week. Wednesday, you know that you're in the middle of the week and you're almost there. And Friday, whew, fuck it. Time to take off your pants, baby. But fucking Tuesdays. What kind of a day is that? Who invented that day? They need to be shot in the fucking head. Anyway, so I'm not really happy that she vetoed this thing anyway, because I was hoping that she would sign it so I have a more of a pretext to move out, because I hate this state anyway. I mean, it's over. I hate it. I mean, I hate this state. I just do. And for me, I was going to use this law as an excuse to leave, because a lot of my family members are like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, because it's not going to happen. Well, it was this close. And if you cannot see, I'm holding my finger and my thumb really close together. About 2 inches close, which is the size of my penis. We were that close to having that law passed in the state of Arizona. And Governor Brewster Skeletor can talk about how, oh, this is unnecessary and blah, blah, blah. If the corporations and some of the Republicans have not come out of the closet and voiced their opposition to this, yes, she would have signed it. In fact, she wanted to sign it. I know that for a fact. So we're not out of the woods yet. And of course, another state, Mississippi. Oh, what a shocker. Mississippi is trying to pass a similar law that will allow Christians to run amok. There you go. And we cannot take that argument seriously, can we? We can't. Religious liberty, my gay ass. They're talking about Christian supremacy. That's what they're talking about. And not just any type of Christianity. Is this Southern Dixiecrat, like I said earlier, Southern Dixiecrat, Scottish Freemasonry? Huh? Look it up. This is the faction that created the current white evangelical movement and all that, and the John Birch Society, and the hoopla about the Reds and the communists and all that. I mean, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to bore it all of you to death. But the history of the anti-gay movement, by the way, is really long and complex. And I don't want people to start using this show as a way to go to sleep at night. I don't want to do that. I mean, there are plenty of other people who are doing shows on the internet that you can, use their shows for that purpose. But, yeah. It's complex. But I guess we just have to deal with what's going on today, right? But later on, maybe I will, a couple of times, educate my audience as to what happens. I mean, what happened in the past affects what is going on today. Like, who started all this anti-gay movement? Where did it come from? It had to come from somewhere. You can say, oh, it's a church, but which church? Talking about the Protestant church, which is where the modern anti-gay movement came from. Or we'll talk about Rome. And if you talk about Rome, then we have to go back to ancient Rome. Because the Catholic Church is basically the current Roman Empire from the past. So, it's too much information. I'm having a brain freeze. Okay, alright. We'll skip that, but hey. The Brewster decided to veto the anti-gay bill. It's a sad day for people who support religious liberty. I don't know. Well, they can just eat cake. Not a gay wedding cake, but a regular, traditional, heterosexual wedding cake. That's what they can have. Boy, oh boy. Alright, anyway. Just to let you all know, and I think this has been touched upon several times in the media, but let's just review again. In Arizona, except for the cities of Tucson and Tempe and Phoenix and Flagstaff, and I guess a few other cities, towns. Except for these areas, everywhere else in Arizona, you can discriminate against gay people legally. Alright? So, why don't we look at what these teabaggers are trying to do in Arizona in the context of that? They already have that privilege, because it is a privilege to discriminate. Because I don't have that privilege. You and I don't have that privilege because we're not anti-gay bigots. We're not Christianists or Christian fascists or Christian jihadists. We don't have an interest in that. I hope not. But they have this privilege because they proclaim a jihad against anything gay. They have this privilege to shove their religion down our throats. And that's what it is, basically. You know how it's funny that they say, oh, they're shoving their lifestyle. Who's doing what to who? Let's get that straight here. Let's stop the bullshit already. Who's the one knocking on doors? And let me tell you, as a former Jehovah's Witness, we knocked on doors, and I was forced to do that. We knocked on doors, and we told people that they did not come to our religion. They're going to burn, not burn in hell, but they're going to be destroyed in Armageddon. We were going to be raptured. I mean, this is stupid nonsense, but this is what we believed before when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, me and my family. But then we saw the light, and I went to college, and that bursted that bubble. And so we don't believe in that bullshit. But hey, we were the ones in people's faces. We were the ones. Well, I wasn't really enthusiastic. It was a huge dread for me to go and knock on doors. I did a couple of those, and it was hideous. It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done in my life. And I wish that other young people in that cult are able to escape it. But they can't, because their parents are forcing them. And I think it's a form of child abuse. I think it is. And Jehovah's Witnesses shouldn't have kids. If we should have a law in Arizona or anywhere else, if you care about children, we should take away kids from these Jehovah's Witnesses. They abuse them sexually, morally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. Everything is fucking messed up in that organization, in that cult. And we're the ones knocking on doors. And we can do this legitimately without anybody saying, oh my God, here come these stupid Jehovah's Witnesses trying to shove their lifestyles on our throats. Nobody has ever said that. Yet we go, or we used to do that, or Jehovah's Witnesses currently are going house to house, preaching the good word, right? Go on, brother. Start preaching. Get all these heathens and infidels to come over to the good word of Jehovah. Fucking nonsense. And let me just say, there were pedophiles and there were murderers and adulterers in my congregation. We had all kinds of criminals there. It's a criminal enterprise. That's what it is. And it's funny because we get to visit people's homes and all that and basically invade your home. And we are allowed to do that. I mean, under the First Amendment, Jehovah's Witnesses are allowed to trespass on your property, even if you have a no trespassing sign. Did you know that? It kind of puts religious liberty into real perspective now, doesn't it? Nobody has ever bothered to ask Jose Soto what he thinks about religious liberty. Because according to my own experience as a Jehovah's Witness when I was in that cult, we thought of religious liberty as going to your home and trespassing. If we're not able, we knock on your door. We even called you, and now they're doing this. Now they're getting information on Facebook. They're going on Facebook now, these Jehovah's Witnesses, and preaching there. And knocking on your Facebook door, you know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck. Yeah, and then we have the whole blood thing. They're not allowed to donate blood or receive blood when they're having an emergency. Go ahead and die, motherfucker. We don't give a shit about you. We are all about promoting the fucking warped dogma. Yeah. And a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses died because of that policy. Ludicrous. But there you go. That's religious liberty. Let me just say that religious liberty is anti-human, is anti-intellectual, is anti-progress, it's anti-American, and we shouldn't allow it. No. Nobody is allowed to have a religion. You know why? Because it's stupid. It doesn't do anything for us. You are allowed to believe in God and all that, fine. That's just something else. But for me, God doesn't need a religion. So why do we need religious freedom? Freedom to... What do you... And I hate that term, too. It's just so fucking... It's an oxymoron. That's what it is. Yeah, because... Let me explain. Religious freedom is an oxymoron because you're saying that it is freedom to follow a religion that tells you how to live every inch and every minute and every second of your life. How is that freedom? How is that freedom when the God that you worship tells you who to sleep with, how to sleep with that person, when and when it's appropriate, what kind of underwear to wear, what kind of food to eat, when to eat that, blah, blah, blah. How many children you should have, how long your fingernails should be, if you should grow a beard or not, what kind of food you will eat, whether or not to drink alcohol or coffee or oh yeah, that's religious freedom, right? That's so liberating and so free. People need to really start looking at what the fuck they're saying. I try to be very tolerant and objective, but not, now that these fascists of the teabaggers and these religious nuts have shown their true colors, you know what? Go ahead and keep showing it. You know why? Because within a few generations, people are going to get fed up with religion and it's going to be banned. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you. Just like the gun thing. Again, I have nothing against guns. But keep it up with annoying people and shoving your guns down our throats and doing all that. Annoying us with your stupid rhetoric and killing people and 10,000, 20,000 gun deaths a year. Keep doing that because later on, people will catch up and people are going to get fed up. And all you need is 35, I think it is, right? Or 38. I'm not sure. I'll count later on. But 38 states and that Second Amendment is gone. You hear that, teabaggers? It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen. But that's the same thing with religion. Again, the First Amendment, it's only there because 3/4 of the states allowed it to be there. But once you start shoving your religion down our throats, once we're seeing that you're not about freedom, but you're about shoving your religion down our throats, forcing us to compelling us to be a part of your religious beliefs, right? Going to the schools and spreading your bullshit to the kids and all that crap. It's not enough that you have churches, 6,000 here in Phoenix alone. It's not enough that you have all these religious institutions and lobbyists and televangelists and Christian networks and TV networks, cable networks. You have Christian websites. You have all this bullshit. This religious industrial complex, I guess you could say. Not only do you have all that, shit, now you're still complaining. It's never enough for these fascists. They still want more and more and more and more. Right now, they say they want to discriminate against homos. Why? Because it's easy. Next, they're going to start to discriminate against atheists and other people. You watch. They're going to want to discriminate against fornicators. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, 90% of us are fornicators. Duh. The fuck do you think this is, Iran? We're America. This is America, okay? This is America. And I would say that people would rather ban religion than ban sex. Of course. We humans, we need food, water, sleep, shelter, and sex. That's what we need, okay? Anything else is just, fuck it. Oh, and healthcare. Sorry, forgot about that. Yeah, just in case you get a little bit of that HIV, or a little bit of syphilis, who cares? Anyway. But, yeah, these crazy teabaggers are not letting up. And now they have this new bill. Of course, they're going to try to get this passed in Arizona. They're not done yet. What happened to the jobs thing that the teabaggers were raving about? Jobs, the debt. No. They're not about that. If you believe that the teabaggers are all about jobs, get out of your room and go to the middle of the street and shoot yourself while we run you over with a tank. Because you're crazy if you believe that the teabaggers are about jobs. They're about pussy and not in a good way. They're about banning pussy, banning masturbation, banning abortions, banning banning homosexuality. That's what they're into. They want to ban butt sex, vaginal sex, any type of sex. They want to ban it. Yeah, because they're not getting any. These were your losers in high school who never got laid, and now that they see people getting laid, now they're like, oh, I'm gonna turn to religion. I'm gonna be all holier because I don't need to have sex. Yeah, because nobody wants to fuck you. That's why. I know those people. Now they want to pass this bill to say, oh wait, if you are a judge or a justice of the peace, you don't have to perform gay marriages. Well, let me see. Are gay marriages legal in Arizona? No. Well, but hey, just in case. It's our religious freedom condom. You know what I'm saying? Protection. Fucking A.